prep powered by Scorebird. David Peden from Battleground Academy, the home of the Wildcats, was actually cool enough to give us a few minutes of his time. And Coach, got to jump right in. Looking at the beginning of the season, you won 2 of the 9 games. Something happened after Waverly Central where you lit the fire in those guys, because you've only lost 1 time since 2014. That was to a team that you've already beaten once this year. So what happened?
Well, you know, really for us, it was a matter of getting our football guys back. And it's a good problem to have, because we were playing in the state championship in football. And, you know, winning breeds itself, and it continues to develop, and it builds upon itself. And so we got those guys back, and we knew as a team that first month of getting those guys back, it wasn't really going to be about winning. That wasn't our goal. Our goal was to become the best we could be, to put ourselves in position to win at the end. And if we could do that, we'd be in business. And it wasn't always easy. You know, when you lose, it's tough sometimes. And especially those early games while football was still going on, we called it the opportunity period, where we had guys, freshmen, who wouldn't even start for our JV later in the season. They were getting varsity minutes. And it was an opportunity for them. It was an opportunity for guys to work in a little bit different role and to continue to improve. And our guys did that. And then once the football guys got there, it was a month-long kind of preseason period. We called it that development period, where it was all about how good can we become. And the winning doesn't matter. You know, there again, frustrating times at times when you have some big losses, lose to a rival like FRA by 20-something points. You know, but the guys, and they get all the credit, they kept battling, they kept pushing forward, and kept improving during the stretch.
Coach, you mentioned, you know, different periods of the season almost, and now you're in postseason play. But throughout the season, I think you've only had about 8 games where you haven't played a ranked opponent.
Right.
And that's a tough schedule. How much does that help your team going through those different periods and tough times of ranked opponents as the postseason period is on you now?
Well, it's vital. You know, we want to play the best, even in those periods where we're getting better and focusing on that and self-improvement. You know, really, we want to schedule as tough as we can schedule. So we're playing teams, and we posted the top Division II rankings in the mid-state, and there were about 5 or 6 of them that we had played, some earlier than others, like Brentwood Academy and McCauley team early. But we want to play those, because that only makes us better. And really, we'll call upon those times now. And we did it the other night when we were down double digits in the sub-state game to put us into state. And we were able to recall again some of those times where we've been down against tougher opponents, and knowing what's going to get us back to where we need to get.
Yes, sir.
David, you talk about getting the football guys back. The football guys weren't the only ones that were a little slow maybe making the transition. Right. You did double duty this year as well. First year coach, you had been a football assistant for some time. What was that transition like for you? First coming out of football into basketball, and second coming from assistant coach to head coach of a defending state championship ball club.
Right. Well, and I had plenty of people who told me that wasn't the right career move, that you don't want to follow right after a championship. Right. Especially we lost 9 seniors. One who's a starting point guard right now at Lipscomb University, Nathan Moran. Really, you know, there were a lot of things, a lot of challenges ahead of us. But that transition to the head job, and also the transition from football, couldn't have been possible without our staff. You know, our staff is, I think, one of the top staffs around. William Bellaford, who's been a head coach at USN, taking teams to the state title game, was a part of the BGA teams in the early 90s that won state titles. He really ran the ship. You know, we talked, and we talked about practice plan, we talked about game planning, but he ran it, and I could trust him to run it while we were still out of football. And Robert Jones, who played on those Arkansas teams with Nolan Richardson and those guys, who he knows how to play tough pressure defenses, which is what we are about. And a couple new guys in Caden Anderson, whose grandfather was a legendary Nashville coach at Aquinas and Stratford, Nashville Christian. He's been a big part. And then a freshman coach who last year was actually recruiting Nathan Moran from Birmingham Southern in town, wanted to help out, and basically he's working for a gym key with our freshman coach. But it's great to have those 4 guys. Without them, that early period, we couldn't have made it. And the kids bought in. They have continued to develop, and it's a great team atmosphere.
Coach David Peden, he mentioned Lipscomb University. Lipscomb University will be rocking this coming Friday at Allen Arena, particularly. Guys, tell everybody about Scorebird and how they can actually access our app and actually be a part of this whole system that we're actually being a part of.
All you have to do is go to your app store if you have an iPhone, go to Google Play if you have an Android. It's a free app. You can watch all these videos, you can follow whatever school you want on the app, and you get live updates for all the games that are shown on the app.
You can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter at the Scorebird, at Players Prep. We've got all the videos up there from these interviews and these guys like David that have been nice enough to hang out with us and just keep up with where we're going and what we're doing.
Wish the Wildcats luck this weekend, Coach.
Hey, appreciate it. We need it. It's going to be tough.
Well, that's right. It's going to do it for another edition of Players Prep, powered by Scorebird. We'll catch you next time.